Chi volunteers help out refugee families in Mafraq Jordan and pass out winter jackets to 200 children. And in Xiamen China, a former care recipient volunteers at a hot pot reunion dinner for other care recipients. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Duncan DaAi. Thank you for joining us. The 2016 Tzu Chi Jordan Free Clinic team held 2 distributions for refugees in Mafraq province, benefiting 450 families. In one area, the volunteers gave out 70 sets of school supplies to local children. The team members also helped 200 children put on winter jackets. Though the Tzu Chi team couldn't easily communicate with these refugees, love crossed the language barrier.
慈济人发放团呢，今天所在的地方是扎塔里难民营的营外帐篷伞。
The place where the Tzu Chi Free Clinic team came to hold a distribution is an area outside the refugee camp. This is like a district if you look at it from a city development plan. The refugees live in various tents, and before a distribution is conducted, the volunteers will go to every tent to give out a distribution coupon. So when these families come to pick up goods, they must show their distribution coupons to confirm that their names are on the name list.
The lives outside the refugee camps are free, but there is little protection as many have to worry about their safety. And there are not many chances for work either. Thus, their lives are not much better. Lawrence is from Taiwan. Tzu Chi Free Clinic team and Jordan Tzu Chi volunteers held 2 distributions for refugees living outside the Zatari refugee camp, benefiting 450 families. Each family received 10 kilograms of rice, 5 kilograms of sugar, 3 kilograms of split peas, 1 box of tea, and 1 bottle of cooking oil. Thus, every family is able to enjoy the new year. Syrian refugees are able to stay in Jordan, but refugee women and people under 16 years old do not have any means to make money. In this house live 3 families of 9 people who are relatives, but only he is able to find work. He makes between 112 and 141 US dollars a month by painting people's home. After deducting the rent and power bills every month, there is not much left for these people.
5 6 ليرات ومية شيء 7 8 ليرات يعني 10 15 دينار يعني 10 ما فوق لا ما في أقل من 10 ما فوق.
As the winter is here, refugees must save some money to buy firewood. In a family with children, the adults always want their children to have enough clothes and food so they can grow up healthily, and Tzu Chi has thought of that. The volunteers gave winter jackets to 200 children and helped them wear them, and also passed forward their love and best wishes with hugs. The volunteers also gave out 70 sets of school supplies and school bags to school-aged children and encouraged them to study hard.
Next, we turn to China. Since Typhoon Nepartak damaged Fujian's Putian city in July this year, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for typhoon victims. With many of the residents still living in poor conditions, Tzu Chi held its first winter aid distribution in Putian City, where volunteers from Taiwan, Putian, Fuzhou, and Jiangzhou collaborated to help residents make it through the cold winter.
On this day, Tzu Chi hosted its first winter aid distribution in Fujian's Putian City. A total of 305 volunteers from Putian, Fuzhou, and Jiangzhou first underwent training prior to the distribution more than a month ago.
All of the volunteers have bravely devoted their hearts because they want to make this winter aid distribution go smoothly.
The deputy chief of Beikao Township brings her son to package aid supplies for local residents.
Since you mobilize many people to come here from far away to good deeds, we should also do something for the typhoon victims here.
The bus driver also joins in the effort to help out as he borrowed a tricycle from a resident to help carry aid supplies from the warehouse to the distribution site.
I feel I shouldn't just stand there and watch people helping others.
This 6-year-old young volunteer helps carry the aid supplies along with Tzu Chi's sisters. Senior high and elementary students also help out with joy at the distribution.
When I said thank you to the care recipients, I felt quite happy because they all smiled. Now they can live happily every day.
We are moved by Master Zheng Yan's spirit of great love. Here, I want to thank Taiwan's Tzu Chi Foundation again.
While volunteers distribute aid supplies to the residents, they also spread love to them at the same time. 1,048 low-income families have benefited from this distribution, which will help them get through the first winter after Typhoon Napartat.
There is 1 month to go before the Chinese New Year, and Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen, China held a hot pot reunion for needy families. One attendee was Chen Tuanzhi, who once went to Taiwan for surgery on her knees. She was at the event happily helping others by serving in a Tzu Chi volunteer vest.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen hold a hot pot reunion for needy families. Chen Tuanzhi in a Tzu Chi volunteer vest helps attendees make their way to the tables. She came last year as a needy family, but this year her position has changed as she feels totally different.
I feel very delightful because I get to help other people. I brought some people to pick up spring couplets, and I feel very happy. I also want to bless them.
Lin Zaijia became paralyzed after an accident 20 years ago, and this is his first time to leave home after his injury. No words can describe how happy he feels.
I'm happy because I have never been here, so I'm quite happy. Volunteers are nice to me.
Children pour out money from their coin bags because they are happy to help people.
上学去垃圾桶捡矿泉水，换来的。你为什么舍得？因为我要帮助别人。因为要帮。
Because I want to help kids who are in worse condition.
小朋友。
You can make a good file every day. It doesn't matter how much you can donate. 1 time, 2 times, 5 times, or $1 will do. You can make a good file and send the merit to other people and help them.
25 tables of hot pots are being served here. There is one Tzu Chi volunteer serving guests at every table. Ye Xinsu raises 3 children alone, but she feels grateful right now.
So many people who are not related to me and people whom I don't know are very concerned about me and also my kids. I feel very grateful to everyone.
The annual hot pot reunion allows needy families to feel the warmth of a large family and to celebrate the holiday.
In Tanjung Balai, Karimun, Indonesia, volunteers have been hitting the streets to canvass for donations to help earthquake victims in Aceh, Indonesia. They received a caring and enthusiastic response from local residents. After the recent earthquakes in Aceh, Indonesia, 58 volunteers from Tanjung Balai, Karimun hit the streets to spread love in the affected communities.
Aceh is a part of Indonesia, so we all feel pain for them.
I want to express my deepest condolence to the disaster victims. I also have family in the area, and I hope that everyone can find strength to face this difficult time.
Everyone has been very enthusiastic in their response. They all have the same mind to help people affected by this disaster.
One donation comes from an enthusiastic store owner happy to help those in need.
We are all one family of the same race and the same nation, so of course we're happy to do whatever we can to help.
Volunteers are canvassing all day inside and outside of homes and businesses, collecting as much love and assistance for the people of Aceh as they can. In preparation for an upcoming year-end blessing ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers in Singapore have begun making red envelopes of blessings and wisdom. To celebrate Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary, the red envelopes have been designed with a special meaning. Let's take a look.
这里不要朝下，要朝这样子，可以吗？所以它是这样子顺着过来，这样子。
Tzu Chi volunteers are pasting 3 rice grains alongside the drawing depicting a galaxy in the universe on the red envelope of blessing and wisdom. This symbolizes that Tzu Chi has been walking the Bodhisattva path for a half-century. Tan Huahua is deeply moved by Tzu Chi volunteers' hard work.
When I worked at the Star Performing Arts Center, Tzu Chi was hosting a year-end blessing ceremony. I think that Tzu Chi volunteers are hardworking, dignified, and polite. Everyone works hard to help others. This is what I'm looking for.
Volunteers double-check to make sure that they have placed a commemorative coin in the proper position. Kartini Yang is carefully cleaning the glue that is exposed on the envelope.
If I get a hong bao, which is the position is not correct, dirty, not clear, then the person maybe will not happy to receive this. So I will make sure this hong bao is the position of coin correctly and also clean.
The elder volunteers also cherish this chance to make red envelopes.
It's a challenge because I'm getting older and older. My vision is also getting poor. We are making this for Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremonies. Since Master Zhen Yan brings blessings to us through these events, as disciples, we should also cherish this kind of chance.
Singapore's volunteers have produced about 6,500 red envelopes of blessing and wisdom to express their gratitude to local residents who have long supported Tzu Chi.
As the end of the year is approaching, Tzu Chi volunteers recently held a rice distribution for impoverished families in the Philippines. Volunteers also took the opportunity to promote vegetarianism by inviting recipients to join the Ethical Eating Day 111 on January 11th next year. Let's check out the event.
Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines promote the Ethical Eating Day 111 by inviting the residents to adopt a vegetarian diet on January 11th next year.
Let's go vegetarian for one day for our only planet. If you are interested in joining this event, please put this idea into action on January 11th in 2017.
Killing animals is a very bad thing because they are also made by Creator. They shouldn't be killed or eaten by us humans.
On this day, the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter also distributed rice from Taiwan to 2,967 impoverished families.
Thank you. Thank you.
The secretary of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in the Philippines is deeply impressed by this distribution.
Some of them donated about $3 while others $2. I know that all of these families suffer financially, so that's why they came here to receive the rice. But since they are willing to donate a little money, I think there is good seed in their hearts.
Since society is suffering price inflation, it's difficult to get by. This bag of rice is really helpful for my family because I have many children. I'm very happy and I feel thankful for having all of this.
Inspired by Tzu Chi's spirit and mission, people in the Philippines now want to repay society by helping those who are even more poor than themselves, and also by doing something good to help Mother Earth.
To encourage vegetarianism and increase awareness of environmental issues, volunteers recently held an event at Tainan's Jingsi Hall, where they acted as vegetarian protectors of the planet, out to inform people of the crisis of global warming, while also promoting vegetarianism. After getting a better understanding about the environment, many attendees vowed to go vegetarian for the sake of the planet.
Why does global warming happen? These volunteers are acting as vegetarian angels to explain the reasons to the public. This boy tells us why he wants to embrace vegetarianism.
Cow farts contain methane gas, which is a major contributor to global warming. I'm willing to eat veggies to protect Mother Earth.
We believe that only with a meatless diet can we truly save our planet. This event also corresponds with the Ethical Eating Day on January 11th, when people around the world can eat veggies together.
Since it requires more efforts to stop global warming, now many residents want to change their eating habits.
If we can reduce the production of carbon dioxide, it will reduce the burden on our planet as well as do good for our health.
After learning about the environment, more people have vowed to adopt a meatless diet so as to leave a clean and comfortable planet for our descendants.
In Tainan, Taiwan, the public sector sends meals to solitary seniors who otherwise can't cook for themselves. However, this service is only available Monday through Friday, leaving the seniors on their own for the weekend. To ensure seniors in his community are fed well even on the weekends and national holidays, the borough head of Jiangzhou partnered with a charity organization to provide lunches for these seniors. He also insists on providing them with vegetarian options to ensure a healthy lifestyle. Here's more.
Cabbage, mushrooms, and other fresh ingredients are stir-fried together with white rice to make a vegetarian porridge for some solitary seniors in Tainan.
We are sending meals to about 110 solitary seniors in Jiali District and Qigu District.
As the public sector doesn't provide meals for solitary seniors on the weekends, the Jiangzhou borough head and other charity organizations joined up to provide meals for the seniors. What's special is that the dishes are always vegetarian. One chef especially contributes his strength to this cause.
We are targeting seniors, so the food they need should be healthier. So we try to use less artificial ingredients.
The meal delivery volunteers arrive just in time for lunch, giving the residents a hot meal to eat.
The service is good and the food is getting better and better.
These vegetarian lunches during the weekend helps ensure that disadvantaged seniors in the community are still looked after with a healthy option to warm their stomachs as well as hearts.
Research shows that the average elderly person in Taiwan lies in bed for an average of 7.2 years before they pass away. Many elders are sent to care centers where trained caregivers look after them. However, the concept of sending seniors to a nursing home conflicts with the idea of filial piety. This, coupled with the reluctance of seniors to leave their homes, means Taiwan's residence in such care centers is extremely low. Today, we continue to explore this topic and whether full care nursing programs are good for the elderly, who often battle separation anxiety.
Every afternoon, Grandma Ajun's twilight blindness kicks in and she becomes like a child and wants to leave the care center as she is coaxed by staff to calm down and stay. Her memory and emotions are hard to control as she often becomes restless and sometimes melancholy. Once she was a primary school teacher, though now that she's a grandmother, she can't even read letters in a book. Before the onset of her illness, the couple swam and hiked, traveling all over the world, which she now has forgotten.
My wife's manic depression causes her to want to flee, and I ask her where she wants to go, and she tells me not to control her.
During the short time of this interview, when her husband's attention was diverted, this wife stuck the comb into the fan. Those suffering from dementia have to be supervised and accompanied all day, though if there's no one to do this, then what other arrangement can be made?
When dementia becomes very serious, they may need one-to-one care, or actually simply need to go to a nursing home.
The only drawback is that it's not the same as a home with families, only occasionally visiting sick elders.
Separation anxiety and the pain of missing a family leads many elderly people to be reluctant when it comes to leaving home. A survey found that 57% of people are unwilling to send elders to nursing homes when they lose ability to care for themselves.
From a long-term perspective, if families send their elders to a nursing home, all aspects of their care are quite good. But if you care for them at home, even if you have a foreign caregiver helping provide 24-hour care, there are still some issues.
Every evening after work, Mr. Tsai goes straight to see his mother. His mother is completely disabled and Mr. Tsai cannot take care of her all day, so he had no choice but to send her to a nursing home where different care workers take turns looking after her.
The nursing home costs about $1,000, so it is indeed a relatively heavy financial burden.
Taiwan's nursing homes charge an average of $900 to $1,300, and if families don't have any special disability designation for these elders, they will have to bear all the costs themselves. If they are able to qualify for disability, then they can receive a subsidy of between $150 to $600. In other words, families still have to pay $600 to $1,000 in monthly nursing home costs.
It's not as simple as an elderly person being unwell with the government automatically including them in the system. The government has their standard, and the disabled also have their own standard.
In today's society, with fewer children, sometimes just one or two per family, the cost of caring for elders over the long term may soon become too much. In addition to the economic pressure, psychological effects also can't be ignored.
Elders actually coming to live in nursing homes may feel that they have been abandoned by their families. So at the beginning, we ask them to simply try it and even ask families to stay with them at the beginning.
There are 1,800 domestic nursing homes which can accommodate 100,000 elderly people with an occupancy of around 70 to 75%. In other words, 1/5 or 20% of beds, or more than 20,000 beds, are empty. This also shows that there is a disparity between urban and rural nursing homes, with the latter having a very low occupancy rate. Mrs. Yang suffered a stroke 4 months ago, and the right half of her body was paralyzed as she entered a nursing home and undergoes daily rehabilitation.
If we are in a hospital, we can get rehabilitation 3 times a week, but here at the nursing home, we can get it every day, and I'm much better and can walk now.
From being bedridden to being able to walk on her own, who says that care needs to be in the ward?
If you are at home and incapable of caring for elderly people, then the nursing home gives you access to professional care. Choosing this option does not mean you are not inferior.
Sending elders to nursing homes doesn't mean they're being abandoned as elderly people get better care. One also has to account for the loneliness they feel after being separated from their children.
If we think their life is coming to an end and treat them this way, then I think the elders who suffer from dementia and other disorders can feel this.
Nursing homes may be the last resort when it comes to caring for the elderly, though caregivers still need the support of families to give elders uninterrupted care and love.
At the end of our program today, we'll check out a few sites in the USA and see how volunteers there are sharing in the holiday spirit of the Christmas season. We'll leave you with some images of Christmas activities in Houston, Texas and Dayton, Ohio. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you all next time.